Anyway, so apparently there is a white male culture, white male privilege panel that Lockheed Martin sent their executives to. Obviously, this is hilarious because, like, the dude who's writing this at the Manhattan Institute is obviously a fucking supporter of Lockheed Martin. Like, these guys, this is a like reactionary ass think tank that is leading the charge against like woke culture, SJW culture, cultural Marxism happening in America, blah blah blah. But like they're obviously on board with like Lockheed Martin's like job as a defense contractor. They love that shit, and the endless wars that we engage in. So it's rather ironic that their like only criticism of Lockheed Martin is that it's like too woke for their fucking dumbass executives or some shit. So this program is led by the consulting firm White Men as Full Diversity Partners, which specializes in helping white males awaken together. It's written. This is again written in like with like very it's embellished. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, like, this shit is absolutely like written by, this tweet is written by a dude that works for the Manhattan Institute. So I just gotta repeat myself that like this is reactionary right-wing propaganda that we're reading currently. I'm still gonna make fun of this initiative though, because it's like really stupid. The participants included a former 3-star general and this vice president of production for the $1.7 trillion F-35 jet program. I love this. The White Men's Caucus. Like, I think that this is hilarious. Okay. This motherfucker put a boat behind him. Oh my God. And he's got fucking jets. To begin, the diversity trainers led a free association exercise asking the Lockheed employees to list connotations for the term white men. The trainers wrote down old racist privilege, anti-women, angry, Aryan Nation, KKK, founding fathers, guns, guilty, can't jump. Oh, true. You know, zero falsehoods stated here. Okay. Old privilege, reactionary, racist, golf, conservative, majority Republicans send their ways, disconnected, angry, leadership, work ethic, good old boys network, provider, don't listen, executive, Aryan Nation, self-reliant, guns, NASCAR, religious, can't jump, chauvinist, anti-women, Congress, CEOs, Senate, KKK, breadwinners, hardworking founding fathers, power centers, fathers, educated, rich, not perceived of, positively hardworking. Damn, motherfucker said hardworking like 8 times, dude. Guilty, shame, blamed. The trainers then asked, what's in it for white men? Listing responses. I won't get replaced by someone who's a better full diversity partner. I will improve the brand, image, reputation of white men, and I will have less nagging sense of guilt that I am the problem. I can't understand I understand my colleagues' life experience better, can more effectively communicate with my work colleagues, making your team better by knowing you are compassionate and caring enough to see them as they are. Better able to deal with the generations who are coming on board, make sure we're doing everything we can to attract the right talent and the workplace choice, being a better person. I continue to challenge myself and grow. I won't get replaced by someone who's a better full diversity partner. As leaders, team takes on characteristics of leaders. So if we model respect, etc., others will take that too. We'll look at the anti-critical race theory fucking take. I forgot to watch this the other day in a second. Where is this? Oh, here it is. What's in it for white men? I solidify listening skills and improve my significant relationship and family connection, better spouse, improve the brand, image, reputation of white men or how we are viewed. Yeah, good luck with that. Evolving the white men culture so future generations are not stereotyped or locked in to the one type of white man, both and. I have less nagging sense of guilt that I am the problem. Bro, are white men all right, dude? White men are not all right. I can't even read this whole thing. White Men as Full Diversity Partners argues that the roots of white male culture include traits such as rugged individualism, a can-do attitude, hard work, operating from principle, and striving towards success, which are devastating to women and minorities. What? He added that part. There's no shot. That's like, this stuff is so stupid. It's like, half the time, this shit, like, unironically turns into, like a white supremacist take. It's like liberal race realism for some fucking weird reason. Studying the relationship between white male culture and the history of the British Isles can help American white men see which traits that ensure their ancestors' survival live on in them today. Survival mentality, a focus on the future, a tendency to rugged individualism, a can-do attitude, operating from principles in conscience, conscious. The conscience. That was very weirdly done. Okay, sorry. Focus on hard work, action, and task completion, striving towards success and materialism, measured moderation and silent strength, focus on status and rank over connection. Success in white male terms is often linked to evaluating one's place in hierarchy. Power and success is derived from a person's organizational status and positional rank. The higher the individual's position, the more status the person has. Corporate culture in the U.S. is heavily influenced and affected by status and rank. Thus, the natural consequence is to have those who don't fit the in-group norm, people of color, gays, lesbians, women, and non-Christians, placed in a lesser position. Despite all good interactions, it's impossible to deny that this unchecked dynamic is still embedded within individual interactions in the workplace. Often, a subtle effect is devastating to those on the receiving end. Where does it say that these are the devastating attitudes to women and minorities? I'm sorry, dude. Like, this is what I mean. This guy's such a fucking idiot. Like, you're such a piece of shit, dude. Okay? This stuff is very strange to, like, you know, identify or associate exclusively with, like, white men for some reason, right? But they don't even say that, like, this is devastating to women and minorities. You just made that up. You literally made that up because that's not what it says here. And the only reason why you had to make it up is because what is said here, like, that was weird alone. This is weird enough alone to just, like, associate all of these, like, as tangible traits for white men exclusively. That's weird enough. But then you had to follow through and be like, but that devastates women and minorities, implying subtly that women and minorities are not capable of having, you know, such traits. What this is saying is that white men have historically been dominant as a consequence of oppressing other marginalized communities. And because white men focus on status and rank, they ultimately create a never-ending cycle where women and minorities, women and marginalized people in general, don't get fucking uplifted to that status because they want other people from the same status point. That's it. It's reinforcing the same fucking hierarchy. The easiest way to say it is like white people are hiring other white men into positions of power. And therefore, there are less non-white, non-male people in positions of power. And therefore, because of the focus on status and because of the focus on rank amongst other people in positions of power, there's less people that they're elevating, thinking that they're not. Often its subtle effect is devastating to those on the receiving end. Yes, that doesn't mean what that person thinks it means, dude. Like, it's devastating because white men are only hiring fucking white men into positions of power and refusing to recognize non-white people for their worth because of their hyper focus on status and rank. That's what this is saying. It's not saying that, like, white men are fucking survivors and that's why they devastate women and minorities who are not survivors. Like, that's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. He just made that shit up. He saw devastating, and that's why like he tied this to this in the last sentence of this. So dumb. Next, participants were asked to repeat and internalize 50 white privilege statements, including, "My culture teaches me to minimize the perspective and power of other people's races. I can commit acts of terrorism, violence, or crime and not have it attributed to my race." I mean, that's literally true. This is the beauties of being a part of the white race. Okay? That's literally fucking true. It's one thing that marginalized communities try to address over and over again. It's one of the more important things that I talk about all the time, which is that, like, we are not conditioned into thinking that, like, white men are committing acts of violence as a consequence of their whiteness or maleness, okay? They're doing it for some other underlying reason, which is true. which is literally true, by the way. But that energy never translates to fucking black people doing violent shit, or women doing violent shit, or trans people doing violent shit. They only do violent stuff because they're trans, and they are now the representative of all trans people across the board. That never happens to white men because they have always been the dominating group in Western societies, in Western civilizations. And because of that, they benefit greatly from a non-monolithic approach. It's just the truth. So I don't know what the fuck people are losing their shit over. Like, how the fuck do you get mad at this? I do not have to educate my children to be aware of systemic racism on their own. Like, I mean, this is all going to be all facts. Like, if I need to move, I can be pretty sure that I'll be able to rent or purchase affordable housing where I want to live. I mean, these are white executives, okay, guys? So their lives and their lifestyle is a little bit different than the white dudes in my chat right now. So if you're like fucking broke ass, like 20-year-old white kid, and you're like, what the fuck? That's not true. Yes, I know that's not true. Okay, this is their lived experience is a little bit different than yours. Okay, who's getting mad at it? Some fucking dumbass like reactionary right wingers. Even though this is stupid though, these I don't know if these kind of exercises are actually productive. I straight up, I don't even know like what the most productive way of getting like a 65-year-old dude who's already a fucking executive that makes, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year building bombs to eviscerate brown kids overseas. Like, I don't know how the fuck that guy is going to be. I don't know how if that guy is going to ever learn or unlearn their whiteness, I guess, if we want to use like woke ass language. It's all fucking performative. At least it makes them think about it more than they have in the last 2 decades. I fucking doubt it, dude. I doubt it. You all are biased because you've done the work already. And you're already here. So you already have done the work to a certain degree where you already recognize, like, you recognize the victims of white supremacist heteronormative patriarchy, you know? So that's why this is just like reinforcing things that you already know. So you're like, yeah, this makes sense. But for a dude who's just like never thought about it, and also on top of that have thought like white people are literally being victimized in society right now because marginalized groups are getting access to a megaphone at the very least, maybe not like fully equal rights, but or equal representation, but at least access to be able to, you know, yell about it. You're going to feel like you're a victim. I can go to a hairdresser or barbershop and find someone who can cut my hair. When I use checks, credit cards, or cash, I can count on my skin color to support my appearance of financial reliability. I do not have to educate my children to be aware of systemic racism. I think one of the like worst parts about this is that it centers around whiteness. And I feel like instead it should be like, this is the reality that black people go through, or this is the reality that brown people go through, rather than being like, I can do well in a challenging situation without being called a credit to my race. Like, I feel like that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Because like, if I am unaware of systemic racism, I'm going to read this and be like, yeah, whatever. Give me this fucking liberal dog shit so I can just like repeat it and then move on with my fucking life and go golf with my buddies. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this approach is really stupid. You want to have people empathize, right? But this unironically creates a sense that like you have privilege, and no one wants to be told they have privilege. Why the fuck would you do that? The better way, in my opinion, is to be like, these are the people. Here is how they suffer. Here are the material differences. You know what I mean? Like, I find it so stupid. Like, of course, everyone is going to be like, this is dog shit. This is dumb. Like, no one wants to be told they have privilege. It makes you feel like you're cheating. Like, it makes it feel like you got ahead by cheating. And that isn't a good feeling for people. It's at the very least, it's not exactly a good space for them to learn. Do you see what I'm saying? So if your goal is to be like, listen, like, this is supposed to be a learning experience, then I think centering it around like white people is unironically kind of backwards and stupid. I don't know. I find that very strange. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe these guys know better than I do. They probably do. But is it worse to tell someone they are privileged or show them other people suffering? Most people don't want to see it when they're privileged. If people don't want to see other people suffering, then why the fuck would they want to recognize their privilege just because someone told them? No. I can easily buy posters, picture books, greeting cards, dolls, toys featuring people of my race. I can go home from meetings and organizations. Like, if I declare there is a racial issue at hand or there isn't a racial issue at hand, my race will lend me more credibility for either position that a person of color will have. Yeah, like, all this is true, but my culture teaches me to minimize perspectives and powers of people of other races. My shape, bearing, like, this stuff, while true, is, in my opinion, not fucking helpful. I'm just gonna say it. I think that if the goal is to educate people, I feel like this is just like this is a have some white guilt seminar. Do you see what I'm saying? Ironically, one of the stated goals of the seminar is to remove white guilt from you so you can be more comfortable in your whiteness while being a better ally, right? Of course, not without changing your position of power or elevating better diversity partners. You're like, we're not going to put black people in charge. Don't be fucking crazy. But, we want to make sure that you can be better, right? But this is like literally just like trying to brutally fucking bash someone's head in with like white guilt rhetoric. Like, you should feel guilty about being white. When I find it really stupid. You should never feel guilty about things that are completely outside of your control. That's so stupid. It's what you do with your privilege that fucking matters. Not like being born white. That's so stupid. Anyway, I think it's so pathetic when like overcorrective white people, like those libs, the rad libs, like they lose their minds. They're like, I'm not gonna go watch Black Panther this week because I wanted a black to take my seat in the movie theater. It's their movie. It's like, what the fuck are you saying, you stupid idiot, dude? Shut up. Shut the fuck up, dude. What do you want? You want a ribbon, dude? You want the fucking the queen of all white people ribbon? Is that what you want? Like, that shit's crazy to me, okay? Be chill. And like, zero black people feel like that is the right or appropriate response. And if black people feel like that's a good response to like systemic racism, then they're fucking dumb, okay? Whoever that individual black person might be. But there aren't any black people that are like, oh, hell yeah, that's a good-ass ally, dude. Okay? Like, that's so fucking corny, dude. Or like the white people that are like, I'm gonna wash your shoes. I'm gonna shine your shoes, black person. I'm sorry for racism and slavery. It's like, dude, stop. Just like be fucking normal, dude. I mean, you're right, but geez, be careful with your wording, man. Damn, why? Like, I mean, there's stupid people from every fucking race that and every kind of background and creed. This shit doesn't fix racism. Anyway. Okay. Okay, what is 47? I can use the word whom without appearing pretentious? What the fuck? Who wrote that? That's so dumb. When I move to a new position, I don't have to worry about my expertise over again. I can take the past success with me. My competence is assumed until I prove otherwise. Okay, what else? Participants then repeated and internalized the 59 male privilege statements, including my earning potential is 15 to 33% higher than a woman's. My reproductive organs are not seen as the property of other men, the government, and or even strangers because of my gender. Bleh. Oh, God. Next, participants repeated internalized heterosexual privilege statements. I am not asked to think about why I'm straight. I can have relationships with work or children without being accused of recruiting or molesting them. I do not have to defend my heterosexuality. My masculinity and femininity is not challenged because of my sexual orientation. I can raise children without the threats of state intervention. I've never been considered mentally ill. I don't worry about being safe, fixed, or healed because of my sexual orientation. Another example of the theater kid, the Rad Lib pipeline. Like, I just, like, this shit is so... Finally, the white males read a series of I'm tired statements from fictitious racial minorities and women, including the I'm tired of being black. I'm tired of black boys and girls being murdered. I'm tired of the concept that should be colorblind. I'm tired of statements from people of color. I'm tired of analysis paralysis on diversity and inclusion. I'm tired of having some of my best friends are black. I'm tired of... So these are like the most common retorts from fucking white people that black people are subjected to, or people of color are subjected to. Yeah. Hadi. İyi eğlenceler. İyi gördüm. I'm tired of being asked if I speak Mexican. That's so dumb. I'm tired of people thinking they're smarter or more qualified than me. I'm tired of hearing that Asian students overachieve and black, Latino, native students underachieve than who achieves at just the right level. I'm tired of seeing you get offered opportunities that I don't get offered. I'm tired of being afraid of the safety of my husband and sons, especially illegal aliens. I think this stuff can plant a seed, but ultimately it doesn't change minds, so it can't do anything to fix racism. First of all, this is at the individual level. If you want to solve structural inequality, give money. Like, give money, opportunities, and allow black communities to fucking uplift themselves rather than cutting off funding over and over again, non-fucking stop, and then over-policing these communities and you know, segregating them over and over again.